Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be making a pair of flamingo stamps. The first thing you need is some pink clay. And I have this rolled out to my thickest setting on my pasta machine. You will also need some wood blanks, flamingo stamp, and some tissue paper, Mod Podge, and some pan pastels. So the very first thing that you are going to do is take your stamp, and this is a hard stamp. You could get a rubber stamp. Any type of stamp that you have will work fine. So I am just going to take my clay and I will push it into my stamp. And this way I know I have a good texture going on and a good indent of my flamingo. And then carefully pull it up. And then I have two that are already done, but I'm going to show you quickly how I did them. I got my X-Acto knife. I will trace this out. And it's actually easier if you put it on a tile because then it won't move all around. So push that down into place. So just trace out your piece. For the legs, I always go a little bit wider than the actual imprint that's shown for that extra support. And carefully remove that clay. So I like to work on a tile because then I could just put my tile right into the oven on how I want it. So I will reposition everything the way that I would like it to be. Make sure my tail's nice and pointy. And the head, this is how my stamp is, but I am going to reposition it and I'll put it up like that. Then I take my pan pastel, just put it right on your finger and go right over it, and that'll show all the detail to your stamp. I actually want to make that a little bit and that's how I would do that one. And then I'll take the back of my knife and then I will make little feathers into my clay. And I have Primo clay, so my directions tell me to bake this at 275 for a half hour. But if you are using a different clay, just read your instructions and follow whatever they say. And then I will do a little bit of hair on the face, or feathers I should say. And then I would bake this in my oven for the half hour. So that gives you an idea how to do that. So I repositioned two of them of how I wanted them to be. So now I will take my blanks and I am going to do blue on the bottom and then this really cool pink on the top. So I will cut some pieces out here. And then I'll put a little bit of this on. And I will brush this right on to my wood blank. And then I'm going to take my straight edge. I'm going to go right on the bottom. I will rub that nicely, make sure it's nice and flat. kind of get an idea of where I want this. I'm going to put this right up against each other. I'm going to kind of lay these out right next to each other so I make sure that it is even when I'm laying my blue paper down. And I'm going to cut that a little bit straighter. And I'm actually going, I want more of the pink to show. So let me flip this. There we go. Okay. And I will do the same thing. I will run this over my tissue paper. I would like my blue to be a little darker, so I am actually going to put 2 pieces of blue over, right on top of each other. All right, let me get a better pair of scissors. So I'm just going to lay these right on top, and that'll give me a darker blue. And then go right on top of it again. Okay, so now we have to wait for this to dry. Okay, so once your piece is dried, you will trim this up. Go right up to the edge. And this shape is perfect. It almost reminds me of like a Christmas bulb. And it's just perfect for the size of the flamingo. It just fits very nicely on there. So get right to the edge. Okay, so for my back side, I'm going to do all the pink because I think the pink is just really, really pretty with the gold. So I will do the same thing. I will lay my Mod Podge down. And then you could take your file and just file the edges, and that'll take all the little extra tissue paper off and smooth everything out real nice for you. So now I'm going to want to poke holes in the areas that your fish hook is going to go. So just get a sharp tool. Oops. That didn't come off all the way. And I like to go in the front and the back to make sure I can push all that paper right into position. And we just got to figure out how we want to lay our little flamingos on. And what I like is that if you want to go with just pink, you could do that. I wanted to make it look like it was in the water, so that's why I went with this style. I just need to make sure that I have this hole clear. So that's the only thing I need to really worry about. So I am going to lay my flamingo down. Figure out exactly where I want it. And now I know I don't need glue there or there. So I'm just going to take my sharp tool and I'll kind of scratch my clay a bit, but don't scratch it too hard. And I'll just make little marks to kind of tell me where my glue is not to go. And you do not need overly too much. Oops. Make sure those little lines line up. I'll get my mini clamps to hold these down, and all of this stuff, so the tissue paper and the clamps are all from the dollar store, so if you're interested, go check them out. So I will let these sit for a couple minutes. Make sure that they are completely secured down. There we go. You need to get your little beads. These are little tiny beads here, and you can see they look like little pearls. We're going to put those on as well. And the resin I will be using is this one today. And this one should be completely dried. So I'm going to just put a little bit of my resin on. And I'm not putting this on very thick, just a little bit. And I will not be putting this on my flamingo, just around the flamingo. So if you have a tight spot, these are perfect for that. These go right into the tiny little areas, no problem. I have bubbles, so I'm going to take my lighter, just go right over, break those bubbles up. And then I have my wax stick, and then I will just start placing my little beads right on here. And that resin will hold everything into place. And that's how that will look. Okay, so now I'm going to put these under my UV light. Now we will get the back, and I'm just going to brush that on. And that's not going to be a very thick coat at all. And then I will place this under my UV light. All right, my resin is cured. Look how beautiful. I think these are so cute. These are just definitely a fun summer pair of earrings. The last thing I want to do before I put my fit-ins on is just protect my clay. And I don't want to put resin on it, but I do want to do my gloss glaze. So I have Sculpey gloss glaze. And since this is clay, this is perfect for it. And it dries really fast, so no worries on having to wait a long time. And I love this glaze because it will shine everything up beautiful. All right, so get your pliers and your jump rings. And to open them, you just turn them, put them on. Now, what I like to do, and you'll see this in every single video that I'm using these fish hooks, is I like to take my piece and turn it so I do not have to add an extra jump ring. And always make sure this is facing the back of your earring. So the part that goes in your ear, you want to face the back. And it's that simple to put your earrings together. And to finish these off, I will put a paint stick around the edge. And I am going to use my chrome paint marker because I absolutely love this marker. Everything looks so nice when you edge off your piece with this marker. All right, guys, and here they are complete. Look how beautiful. The edging looks wonderful with all the silver. And I love the little faux pearl look here. I just, even like the little detail on for the feathers looks really, really nice. And I love always doing a different back. So if you wanted to, you could really just, you know, tuck this in when you are doing your earrings to make it smaller so you don't have anything sticking out. And then you could wear this as one side if you wanted to. But I really, really hope you guys enjoy creating these with me. They are the perfect little summer getaway earrings. If you did enjoy this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.